I, Muhammad Nazrin Ghazali, will explain to you about a methodological discourse. Firstly, I will explain to you about method and methodology. Firstly, method. Method is a system, arranged, and order of thought. It refers to a certain structure of reasoning, such as induction or deduction or research technique used to gather data, while the methodology is the philosophy of research. It determines the approach taken by a researcher towards understanding certain phenomena. Methodology, providing standard for the acceptability of evidence. The differences between acceptability of evidence will affect the differences of method and methodology. Choices of method and methodology may also be influenced by the basic unit of analysis of certain research. A human group is a totally different unit of analysis. Secondly, I will explain about fiqh as a legal system. Firstly, fiqh literally means to understand and to have knowledge of something. Technically, the knowledge of the derived particular legal rule as acquired from the particular sources. For your information, the term fiqh was not applied in the legal sense alone, but carried a wider meaning covering the whole of religion during time Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Fiqh, as we understand today, includes various branches of legal rule, include transaction from these matters, offense and ibadah. Based on the act of a Muslim individual will fall within 5 categories. Firstly, obligatory, which is wajib. Secondly, recommended, mubah. Thirdly, permissible, mandub. Thirdly, abominable, makruh. And lastly, prohibited, haram. That's all from me. I will pass the explanation to Syed Ruman to explain his part, which is Islamic jurisprudence.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Nazrin, for giving me the chance to talk today. Okay, my topic today is about Islamic jurisprudence. I'm sure that you all know what is Islamic jurisprudence. Jurisprudence means like theory and also philosophy of law. And in Islam, it's also known as usul al-fiqh. You know usul al-fiqh, right? Okay, first of all, the Islamic jurisprudence happens when the expansion of Islam happened in this world. You know that in the early days, Islam conquered the world through good moral values, and people convert to Islam. And from that, it came up many question mark and also issue rises from people. They demand an answer from the scholars to answer the unsolved problem. So, point is, in Islam we have to follow the Quran and also the Sunnah. There are conflicts between the early scholars in Islam. Conflicts about whether they want to believe reason is a method they want to use or not in conducting legal system. So about the conflict of the reasoning method, there are 3 groups that have this conflict. They argue about the reasoning method, which is the first one is Al-Hadith, the people of tradition, and also Al-Rai, the people of reason, and also the fiqh school, the new fiqh school. Yeah, this is the 3 people that argue about the reasoning method. The methodology that was subsequently developed through the efforts of Muslim jurists is called an usul al-fiqh, and which is suits to the nature and requirement of the Islamic legal system. And it's a joint venture between reason and revelation. But we have to remember that revelation is always come first before reasoning. And everything that is said in the revelation is true, but not everything that we said in the reason. If it contradict with revelation, so we cannot accept it. Speaking about reason, reasoning is extending the normative statement of the Quran and Sunnah into a new legal issues. And it's like basically in basic word, we want to answer a new problems or anything that is demanded from the people for the scholar to answer. It's called a process of ijtihad. So, usul fiqh usually concerned with three things, which is sources of Sharia, rules of interpretation, and also methods of reasoning. And I would like to emphasize here the two methods of reasoning. There are more, but I would like to emphasize only two, which is analogy using qiyas, and also consensus of opinion, which is ijma. And through these methods, Islam society managed to improve the legal systems. You want to know more about usul al-fiqh? Stay tuned for the next video.
So now, let us move on to usul fiqh and group-related issues. In this article, it is stated that the method of reasoning in usul fiqh could be defined as reasoning prescribed from the text such as Al-Quran and Sunnah. All of the cases that has been highlighted in this article are from the era of prophethood and also Khulafa ar-Rashidin. So, how about the cases today? Can we relate it with the method of reasoning in usul fiqh? The current issue that has been raised lately is the issue of goods and services tax in Malaysia, or in short, GST. This issue makes the majority of the citizens in Malaysia feel frustrated with the government approach for imposing the tax. According to the Muzakarah Fatwa Committee of the National Council for Islamic Religious Affairs Malaysia, when the government imposes tax, there will be a specific harm, such as the wealth of the citizen will be reduced. But when government decided not to impose the tax, there will be many public interests cannot be implemented by the government. Therefore, the government is authorized to collect the tax in order to meet the maslahah or public interest. The Muzakarah conclude that GST should be implemented in Malaysia as long as there is a need and also maslahah for the country and its people. Using the method of Saad al-Darai, it should be blocked to avoid the bigger problem. Muslims should be sensitive with this issue. If the authority allow anyone to use the word, it will create greater confusion for the new generation. There will be also misunderstanding among Muslims about the real meaning of Allah. Therefore, Muslims obliged to keep it in the best way. If there are elements of humiliation, it should be blocked in accordance with the provision of the law that have been enacted. As a conclusion, some of the group-related issues cannot be separated with the method of reasoning in usul fiqh. So, do you want to know more about economics? Don't go anywhere.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. Today I will talk about economic as descriptive and social science. So, why economic considered as a social science? We go to the definition of social science itself first. Social science is actually concerns with society and relationship among individuals within a society. So, economic is a social science that concerns with the policy issues that will affect the group of collectivities. I give you one example of why economics such as social science. With a specific example, today I can buy a bread with RM1, but tomorrow when the inflation effect include in the market, so I can buy one bread with RM1.50, meaning that I will pay more with the same amount of commodity. So we can see, as a result, the value of money will decrease, but the money in our hand will reduce. So reduction of money will reduce the purchasing power. So guys, can you see the relationship between economy and human behavior? It will affect everything. Economy will affect the human behavior. When people heard about economy, people will see the numbers and the statistics as indicators. But we have to bear in mind that these statistics and numbers, it's all based on the human decision. So that's why economy considered as a social science. It involves with concern with the society. We go to the economy as a descriptive hypothesis. Descriptive hypothesis meaning that economy is a fact, is a statement of facts. So economy actually describe a specific realities or a certain relationship between variable. So you have to bear in mind that everything in economy is facts.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Aini binti Mak Rashid. Okay, our topic for today is sources and method of reasoning in Islamic economy. Okay, the first sources is the Holy Quran. Okay, Islamic economics should focus on verses that contain a brief statement on human nature, economic phenomena, and also verses that relate with group or collectivity. Okay, for the second sources is Sunnah of the Prophet SAW. There are two Sunnah, which are legal Sunnah and non-legal Sunnah. Okay, for the legal Sunnah, it consists of Prophet activities and also instruction of the Prophet as the head of the state and also as a judge. And for the non-legal Sunnah, it is daily activities of the Prophet, such as the way he ate and also the way he slept. Okay, the next one is reading of economic phenomena. Okay, this is for the researcher to research about what is happened in economic nowadays. The tools for the economic phenomena, which is such as observation and also research. Okay. The last one is the objective of the Sharia. The objective of Sharia, the main one is to provide goods and also to prevent fasad. Fasad, which means state of disorder and also disturbance and waste. So the example of the fasad is corruption and also exploitation. And then to achieve the objective of the Sharia, Muslim economists should emphasize on Sharia-oriented economic policy. Okay, that's all from me.